The moment Linda Harper smashed her clipboard against the keypad on my garage, a Homeland Security satellite 23,000 miles above Earth snapped to life. It shifted its orbit and zeroed in on Maple Grove Lane as if it had just caught sight of a global fugitive sipping iced tea at a yard sale. I was midway through hauling a jumbo pack of almond milk at Costco when my phone buzzed with the alert. Code black. Perimeter breach detected. I abandoned my cart, sprinted for the exit, and didn't even pause when a guy yelled, "Hey, you're frozen dumplings." That's when I knew Lindaka HOA Linda had finally crossed the line. Maple Grove was meant to be my quiet retreat, a low-key gig for a guy like me. No covert missions, no high-stakes ops, just tidy lawns, 2-car garages, and neighbors who judge life by the wattage of their porch lights. But peace? That's a myth. And in this suburb, the real danger wasn't some shadowy syndicate, it was a 56-year-old woman in flip-flops armed with an HOA rulebook. Linda Harper, the self-crowned ruler of the block, swung her clipboard like it was a battle axe. She fined kids for running unpermitted lemonade stands, ticketed a labradoodle for barking after 7 p.m., and once demanded a gardener trim a bush because it looked too European. She'd had me in her sights since I moved in. Barely a week after I unpacked, she showed up at my door, eyeing my leather jacket like it was a blight on the neighborhood. "Mr. Carter," she said, her tone as welcoming as a tax audit. "We have rules here. I trust you'll study the HOA guidelines by tomorrow." I grinned, nodded, and quietly noted her stance right-handed. Slight limp, zero threat, maximum nuisance. To everyone else, I was James Carter, the reserved guy who grilled burgers on weekends, wore shades, and paid his dues on time. But beneath my garage floor, behind a biometric lock disguised as a pegboard, lay a Homeland Security tactical suite masked as a bike shed. It was a holdover from my old life, still live. My job to keep it secret and flag anything odd in a zip code where the biggest drama last year was a misplaced garden gnome. Then Linda started poking around. She tracked my packages, my trash days. I once caught her measuring my window blinds with a ruler. Things heated up last Tuesday when she spotted me unloading what she called shady black boxes into the garage. They were even wide Danke containers safe in my hands, trouble in anyone else's. She probably thought I was cooking meth or hiding corpses. Either way, she slapped me with her 9th HOA complaint in 3 months. Unauthorized garage alterations, potential code violation, inspection pending. I brushed it off. Big mistake. While I was out that Friday Costco, dumplings, almond milk, Linda seized her chance. She dubbed it a routine garage check, claiming the bylaws gave her entry rights. They didn't, but Linda didn't sweat details when she sniffed rebellion. She punched in an emergency code she'd seen my electrician use, pried open the door, and stepped into my world. That's when the garage turned into a fortress. A low hum kicked in as sensors flagged an intruder. Floodlights snapped on, drenching Linda in stark white. She didn't blink. Linda thought she owned Grave White Tie itself. But then the retinal scanner flashed red, and a smooth voice announced, "Unrecognized biometric profile. Initiating secondary protocol." Linda snorted. "You'd better hush, Missy. I'm HOA president." The system didn't take kindly to sass. A robotic arm dropped, scanning her face. She swatted it like a mosquito, yelling into her phone for the HOA legal team, but the room had already locked down, signals jammed, no bars. The interrogation chair rose from the floor like a throne. Linda, in pure Linda fashion, plopped right into it. When I screeched into the driveway, the security feed showed her mid-rant, accusing my garage of being a covert socialist book club. She was strapped in, shouting at the AI while it listed threat flags: defiance, erratic actions, obsessive neighbor reporting. I stormed in, barking, "Override, James Carter, 07 Echo 9. The lights dimmed, the arm retracted, and Linda spun on me, venom in her eyes. "What is this, James? Are you running a dungeon?" "I'm calling the news." I was about to spin a lie when my earpiece crackled. "Carter, you've got some explaining to do." It was Agent Sarah Kim, my DHS handler, sounding like she'd just bitten through steel. "I was getting almond milk," I mumbled. "You left a Linda loose in a classified site? That's a national security clown show." Sarah rolled up 20 minutes later, boots muddying my tiles, hair in a tight bun. She scanned the room, then Linda. "Oh no, it's her. You know her. She's on a watch list. Once reported a Coast Guard drill for excessive wave noise." Linda, unfazed, locked eyes with Sarah. Are you the boss? Good. Shut this down VY OLAT's Noise Ordinance 14B. Sarah blinked. Is this a simulation? There we stood, two agents and a rogue HOA tyrant in a standoff straight out of a fever dream. Linda still thought she was winning, fueled by blind confidence and meticulous notes. Sarah pulled me aside. She can't leave knowing this. Detain her. Worse. We might have to use her. I stared, thinking she was kidding. She thinks this is a reality show. Doesn't matter. If she talks, we lose the site and more. I glanced back at Linda, now trying to swipe her loyalty card into the scanner. That's when I realized my quiet suburb was gone. I was in a spy thriller, and the wild card wasn't the tech or the enemies, it was Linda Harper. Less than a day later, Linda sat at my kitchen, sipping chamomile from a DHS mug, smug as ever. She'd turned her garage break-in into a personal triumph. Sarah paced my levying room, glaring like I'd personally unleashed this plague. Linda now believed Homeland Security had tapped her for a secret CIVY task force, and she wasn't entirely wrong. After a frantic call with Sarah's bosses, the verdict came: too risky to erase her memory, too loud to move her. So we'd harness her, redirect her chaos. She was our mess now. I want a badge, Linda said, pinky raised. No, Sarah snapped. A vest. You'll get a fanny pack. Linda huffed. It better be rugged. We were on thin ice. The breach had sparked a full review of my operation. For now, I could keep the site, but one wrong move like Linda tweeting about secret garages, and I'd be reassigned to an Arctic outpost. Keep her occupied, Sarah muttered, snagging a granola bar and slamming the door. So, I launched Operation Linda. I built her a fake DHS dashboard legend, logo, title, Community Oversight Specialist. Her task: monitor Maple Grove for oddity, strange cars, weird gatherings. Let Linda be Linda, just under our thumb. What I didn't expect was her first report to hit pay dirt. At 3 a.m., she texted VY an app my tech pal Jonas had rigged to look encrypted. Subject: Tim. Odd behavior. Possibly extremist. Tim was her son, a lanky 17-year-old who lived in hoodies and dodged eye contact. I figured he was just a gamer, but Sarah insisted we dig. Jonas and I ran a sweep, tapped Tim's Wi-Fi, scanned his device. Buried under encryption way beyond a teen's skill set were chat logs, drop points, network tunnels, payload terms. Not kid stuff, too precise, echoing a classified cyberops manual I'd seen once. That's not Call of Duty, Jonas muttered. We dug deeper. Tim wasn't solo. He was in a hidden Minecraft forum where talks shifted from skins to data trades and foreign IPs. Linda had stumbled onto something real. We kept her in the dark, feeding her a line about Tim chasing online rabbit holes, while Sarah's team cloned his device and traced the trail. The kicker? Tim was a puppet. The real player was Silent Pulse, a supposed coding tutor grooming teens for encryption, spoofing, and dark web deals. At least 6 kids from nearby towns were in play, turning hobbies into weapons. Linda kept filing reports mostly about tacky yard decor or suspicious mulch smells, but sometimes dropped gold, like Tim meeting a guy she called too old for Snapchat, too quiet for normal. Traffic cam footage installed after Linda's raccoon crusade showed him a face from a Berlin cyberop dossier, alias Vex, real name unknown. Things sped up. Sarah ordered a covert sweep bugs in birdhouses, drones as pigeons. Linda handed out safety surveys asking, is your teen using too many abbreviations? Or how militant is your neighbor's composting? To most, she was just Linda. Behind the scenes, we tracked Vex. He'd met Tim twice, always on foot, no calls. Then, Thursday, he hit my garage. I was out front, fake washing my driveway, when he strolled in hoodie, shades, calm as death. He bypassed the lock and slipped inside. I drew my piece, entered, and locked us in. Vex stood by the chair, eyeing the setup like a tourist. You shouldn't be here, I said, gun up. I know what this is, he replied. And you know it's more than a garage. How's Tim involved? He's green, moldable, perfect for people like you. Before I could counter, the lights flashed red. Another breach. Outside. Linda was back, megaphone blaring, a posse of neighbors in tow, her latest safety march. On the monitor, she led the charge, clipboard raised. Vex melted into the shadows by the gear locker, still as stone. I had seconds before Linda turned this into a circus. Stay put, I hissed at Vex. He nodded faintly, either agreement or pity for what was coming. I stepped out, grinning like a used car salesman. Linda. What's up? James, she snapped. Why's your garage locked in broad daylight? Fire hazard. And I smell wires, maybe treason. She turned to her crowd, 8 neighbors, one with a yappy dog, another clutching a pie. We've ignored this too long, odd deliveries, weird scents, illegal tinting. Time to act. Someone cheered. I winced. Just resealing the floor? I lied. That's the smell, chemicals. Linda sniffed like a hound, then leaned in. I see through you, James. Everything. The garage door creaked open. Vex had hit the manual override. Blue screens glowed. The chair gleamed. Linda gasped. I knew it. A prison camp. Not quite, I stammered. She stormed in, filming. Here's the torture seat, probably for UPS drivers who don't wave. I snatched her phone, powered it off. Linda, out. Not without answers. Jonas rolled up then, laptop slung like a baby Bjorn, tank top reading, hack me. Y'all let the HOA in the vault, he drawled. I pulled him aside as Linda fondled the cable like it was CSI EVY Denke. She's got it all. We're screwed. Jonas grinned. Let her stream it, call it a Netflix teaser. Done. No, Jonas. Vex was here. Tim's tied to his cyber cell Minecraft sleeper agents. We need lockdown, not drama. Jonas typed fast. Then we throw a block party, distract him, surveil hard. It was nuts. It was brilliant. It was Linda's dream. Within a day, flyers hit every mailbox. Patriot Barbecue. Safety Day. Linda dubbed it. Watch Level Orange, made shirts, and canvassed the street. DHS agents posed as relatives, snapping pics, scanning signals. Linda ran a security post, a card table with nuts and a spyglass. Tim showed with pals, all shifty. We bugged the bounce house, wired the beanbag toss, parked a fake ice cream truck with face rec cams. Then Jonas caught a ping. Tim's phone hit, an Eastern European proxy. Sarah's tablet lit up. A vacant house 2 blocks over, a server nest. Vex's hub. As kids toasted marshmallows, attack team hit excellent, swift. Vex and 2 others were nabbed mid-upload. Linda, I'll believe why us, debated napkin thickness with a retiree. Later, Sarah lit a cigarette. You got lucky. I know. But Linda, she's a pest, but useful. The real issue? This blew up under your nose, James, and you missed it. My phone buzzed a selfie from Linda in the DHS truck. Caption, can we drive this? HOA asks. I groaned. This wasn't over.